Hey folks, welcome back, or welcome to Lone Pine Tarot, of course, if this is your first ever visit here. And thank you so much for joining me for our Pick a Card reading today, of which the topic was chosen by our community over on my posts tab on my channel. So thank you so much to everyone who partook in that poll. And of course, as you can tell by the title you clicked on, the number one winning answer was a reading on what is hidden from you, or unveiling like a secret truth, that kind of thing. So pretty open-ended. We'll see what comes through. Could be many different areas of life that this pertains to. And that's the beauty of it, is the fun and the mystery in seeing what comes through. So without further ado, let us pick our pile leaders to choose our messages with. Calling, of course, on Spirit, as we always do. With greatest thanks, please choose the piles for each single message today for their highest best good. Thank you. Okay, that one for sure is pile 1. Kept wanting to come flying out, so we're going to take that one for pile 1. And as for pile 2, this one is also quite prominent, so I'm going to choose that one for you. And as for pile 3, I'm feeling this one right here, and let's flip over the cards for everybody. So for pile number 1, unveiling your card, your leader today is, we have one of the bird cards, the raven. Very beautiful. For pile number 2 today, here in the middle, your pile leader today is, we have another animal, but we have a bear. And last but not least, of course, for our wonderful pile number 3 over here on the right, your pile leader is, we have one of the tree cards. We have the birch. Wonderful. So quick refresher, pile 1 is the raven, pile 2 is the bear, and pile 3 is the birch. So as I always say, you are 100% welcome to take some time to decide here. Take as much time as you need, take in a deep breath, meditate a little bit. And if you're new to Pick a Card readings, I always just suggest go with the card that feels right when you look at it. Kind of feel it down in your gut, like an instinct, or intuition is the term I personally like to use. But whatever your method, when you are done choosing, you can drop down to the description box below beneath the video, find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about the unseen truth that is hidden from you, that is ready to be revealed. See you in the reading. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your Pick a Card reading about unveiling something hidden to you, a secret that Spirit wants you to know. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the raven as your pile leader today. So in a bit of a switch from my usual way I do this, we're going to actually draw all of your cards first and then unveil them together. So we'll put your pile leader over here to the left, as we typically do. And let's first draw your tarot spread, of course, calling on Spirit once more for the highest best good of pile 1 today. Please tell us more about a secret that you want them to know, or a hidden truth that you want to be unveiled to them. Thank you. Okay, definitely this one. This one's like pick me, it's sticking out. Also feeling drawn to that one. Actually, I'm going to take both of them because they're both kind of... Oh, there's actually 4 of them. So we'll take the 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more. Yep, this one right here. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. There's your tarot cards. And as for your oracle cards today, let's start with the tea leaves. Just to get the full picture for your message. Okay, I feel drawn to this one. Okay, definitely that one. And then we have 2 other oracle decks. First up is animal messages. I think this one. And then we have the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. Very fitting for a reading about what is hidden, right? What is hidden from pile 1 that you want them to know? This one for sure. Okay. Everything is drawn, pile 1. Let's unveil the cards. So, first up to bat, looking at your tarot spread. Card number 1, we have the 7 of Swords reversed. I think I kind of already know where this is going, especially in combination with what your raven means, but let's keep drawing and we'll explain later. We have, 6 of Pentacles reversed. Maybe a bit of a fairness related message. Something might not have been fair. Something might have been deceptive. Then we have the Empress, okay. Number 4, we have the 3 of Wands. Yep, okay. Maybe in a way something was unfair to you that perhaps held you back in a way. And you didn't really realize it until hindsight, but just keep looking at the picture forming. And then we have, 2 of Cups. Something to do with a relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, pile number 1, but okay. Bit of a trouble in paradise. And what I mean by this, pile 1, is not so much that I don't think this reading is a prediction of like a current relationship you have with someone, be it platonic or romantic, like going wrong. This reading to me so far is seeming like a secret being unveiled to you about a relationship in the past you had with someone that you already know didn't turn out well. So don't run away from the reading afraid like, oh God, is a relationship that I'm in with either a friend or my partner, etc. gonna go awry? I don't see that. And the reason why is because of the Raven. The Raven, I'll explain more once everything is drawn, but just to kind of balm some worries right now, if that's kind of what you're worried about, that card is all about hindsight. Things seeming more clear in the past. Okay, so this is past energy that they want to reveal a secret to you about. Then as for the Hidden Worlds card, you received the Spirit of Spring, number 34, freedom, action, and power. Perhaps that it occurred in the springtime of a certain year. Maybe you felt caged in some way too, which I can totally understand with the tarot spread that came out. Then we have for your tea leaves, a fair man. Dealings a relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. So that could be the other person involved. Could have been the friend or partner, perhaps. Or perhaps you are a fair man, having blonde, gray, or white hair, etc. Second tea leaf is the door. Opportunities are waiting for you. Yeah. Definitely making sense. And then last but not least, we have from your animal messages, the crocodile. The alchemy of energy teaches that death will always yield new life. Okay, so pile number 1. What is going on here? Let's first explain your tarot spread. So, right off the bat, what came forward was the 7 of Swords reversed. And immediately when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. What that means, pile 1, is the situation that Spirit wants to discuss with you and unveil the truth, as the title says, is something where there was a deception revealed in some way. Because the 7 of Swords tends to represent a time where something has been going awry. Maybe someone's been kind of sneaky about something. Someone's been deceptive or like a trickster figure in general. But in the reversed energy, pile 1, it's the energy of unveiling. Once again, that also just assures you that this is a past energy. You already know with what's going on now that this deception occurred. And especially with the 6 of Pentacles reversed next to it. The 6 of Pentacles reversed tends to represent there's something unfair going on, especially when it comes to resources or money. So it could have been maybe someone related to a job or a career that you're in and they didn't pay you fairly for something. Or it very possibly could have been like, say if it was like a romantic relationship, perhaps they had a lot of control over your finances. That might be another marker for like what Spirit is referring to. In any case, there was just a feeling of unfairness because the 6 of Pentacles tends to represent equal distribution of things, except when it's reversed, which is how you got it, which means unequal distribution of things. Then, on top of that, you got the Empress in the very middle as the heart of the matter card. I like to call the central card in my spread. And that represents motherhood energy. It represents feminine energy. It represents nurturing, creativity, all those things. But after getting a 7 of Swords reversed and then a 6 of Pentacles reversed right before it. Basically what Spirit is saying is that the situation with this deception and unfairness affected your ability to nurture something. And I think specifically pile 1, it was your ability to nurture a plan that you had either with the person, especially if it was a romantic relationship, because the 3 of Wands is about taking action on plans that we've made for the future. And then the 2 of Cups is usually about like a partnership or like something in harmony with someone else. Okay, so things seemed like they were going great. The deception got unveiled. And then all of a sudden, it was like the thing that you've been nurturing, you've been going to go forward on a plan with someone else involved, kind of fell apart. Now, that's the part I think you already know, pile number 1. Or maybe you're at the very cusp of kind of suspecting, like you kind of maybe suspect this is going on, like you wouldn't be, as I said, it's not like a shock thing, because as I said with the Raven card, that's the card of hindsight. The guidebook for that particular card describes it as, not number 1, blaming yourself for things being clearer in hindsight. Sometimes it's just really hard to notice things in retrospect. Hindsight is always 20/20, but our vision isn't always clear until we get to a point of being able to retrospect on things and be like, oh, okay, well that, maybe I should have seen the signs at the time, but well, I guess it kind of makes sense that I didn't. Because, when you're mired down in things, or, love is not necessarily blinding you, pile 1, which I guess it can blind you. Or, even if it wasn't romantic relationship, as I said, sometimes even like loyalty and other feelings can get in the way of seeing things very clearly, which isn't a flaw on your part, pile 1, not at all, but it's just overall a message of maybe it seemed clearer in hindsight, as I said. It's also a card of making sure to pay closer attention to something because of that, like making sure that you don't notice signs. So what that means for your present, pile number 1, is there's something they want to unveil to you about this prior situation that you haven't noticed quite yet. It's like that one extra little bauble, that extra little shiny, if we're gonna, use like ravens and crows as an example. They like to go collect shinies, right? As people that have fed crows and befriended them know. That extra little shiny tidbit of there's something here you didn't notice about this, and it's positive, pile number 1. What they want you to know is, as hard as it might have been at the time to let go of whatever this relationship was, could have been a job, romantic relationship, friendship, etc., it was better for you in the end, especially for those of you that are currently, like, this is maybe a really fresh wound. Maybe this happened very recently. You still might be looking back and be like, oh my God, like, I feel so upset, very understandably so, pile 1. I feel like, oh, I missed out on this thing, like, oh, this is just a wrench of chaos in my life, and you're still kind of having that free fall after the fallout occurred. Then this message is especially for you, because as I said, you're better off on this path than you would have been had you stayed on this path. Now, as I said, with the Fair Man card, it's very, very possible that this Fair Man was the other person involved. Like I said, it could have been your partner, could have been the boss involved, or in general, just like a friend of yours, or you could also be the Fair Man too. That's also very possible. So there's one aspect that Spirit is also giving that extra little indication as to what this is referring to there. And 2, as I said, with the Spirit of Spring, the keywords for that card are freedom and action and power. And very interestingly, you have not only the card of door, opportunities are waiting for you, but also the crocodile. Let me rephrase or re-say what that is. It says, the alchemy of energy teaches that death will always yield new life, just like it does in the spring after the winter. So pile number 1. I would like to tell you this. There's an opportunity coming because of this alternate path that you took. Yes, you had to sacrifice or let go of something that was near and dear to you on the way there. But as the crocodile card says, the alchemy of energy teaches that the death of something will always yield new life. Just like how, as I said with the seasonal example from your Hidden Worlds card, the winter, the death of the year, always yields to the new life in the spring. Okay, so right now especially, if you're going through a very difficult time, maybe you're still kind of reeling from the effects of whatever this deception was and this unfairness, etc., it might feel like a winter of your life right now. You might feel that coldness, that feeling alone. Winter, of course, is also associated with like hardships of sorts too. because, you know, it is a more difficult time of year to survive in, especially, you know, if you look at society as it was archaically, right? Modern day, we have, you know, not air conditioning, the opposite. We have furnaces in our houses, but, you know, think about it in the traditional human way. Winter is the time of hardship. Okay. But there's a spring coming. There's something better coming for you. Opportunities are waiting for you. Same thing. We even look at death as a door of sorts to a new world. We look at it as, you know, traditionally you think of death as, oh, this is the end of something. Like, oh, it's not going to continue on from here. It's just a big closed door in my face. But really what it is, pile number 1, is a door always has another room on the other side of it. And you're just about to enter that new room. Now, to cap off the reading, I do want to do a final tarot pull of clarification for you to ask what opportunity is waiting for you on the other side. I do get a sense already that there's something to do with having greater freedom and power afterwards because of the keywords of the spirit of spring. But I do just want to clarify with Spirit to make sure. So, Spirit, for pile 1, if you could tell me a little bit more about what's the opportunity waiting for them on the other side of this. What's coming soon? Okay, we got one card already. Thank you. We have, the Magician. Wonderful, pile 1. Speaking of 1, that's number 1 in the tarot deck. How fitting. Manifesting something that you've been working on. Now, I think that might be related to, because before, as I said, with the Empress and the Three of Wands, that part of the tarot spread initially was about, like, you were trying to nurture something, you were trying to bring something to life, and it's like, you had plans for it, but it got in the way because, or I'm sorry, like, the deception or the unfairness got in the way of you taking action on those plans. So if you had to delay something at that time, pile number 1, the Magician is a really good sign that the door opening to you is another opportunity or another chance to go forward with that plan you had in mind that felt like it got, like, pushed back before, or you felt like you had to completely just back burner the whole entire thing or just set it on the shelf. There's an opportunity coming in that way. Also, just manifesting things in general that you've been working really hard on is a really good sign to get the Magician. And then this card was also standing out, so I'm going to take it. Oh boy, both these cards want to come out. So I'm going to take both of them, actually, because I was going to draw 3 in total. So, Spirit, what else? We have... Ooh, wonderful. The Four of Pentacles. Speaking of having greater control over things. So, with the keywords that have come out earlier, especially as I said with the Spirit of Spring being like freedom and action and power, like before maybe you felt kind of constrained in some way. Maybe a lot of what was going on with the other person involved was a lack of control. Either like they had a lack of control or like you had a lack of control in some way. And so the Four of Pentacles is a really great card for like regaining control, especially in terms of finances. So maybe before it was kind of shaky, especially with that Six of Pentacles reversed energy we saw. Now it's like, okay, just like this, I believe that's an armadillo. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But like this armadillo holding and clutching close to his pentacle that he has in his paws. It's this sensation of, now I have this like stable thing I can cling on to. I have this thing, I'm going to protect it like my baby. And I have this like resource too. That's another really good keyword to use with the pentacle suit. This resource I can hold on to. Because really the keyword with the Four of Pentacles pile 1 is reserving our resources. Holding on to things. Okay. Protecting what we have. Beautiful. And then last but not least, we have cute, the Six of Cups with looks like 2 lambs. Adorable. And the Six of Cups pile 1 is a card of the past and the card of nostalgia. Sometimes can also represent family, as oftentimes the figures in the Six of Cups do represent siblings. So that might be another indicator here that that thing that maybe you had to put on the back burner earlier, or you just had to completely shelf because of these problems that came up. Well, boom, with the card of the past coming out, that's like, okay, the past is coming back. You're going to be able to return to that, as I was saying before. It can also indicate that the opportunity coming forward for you after this door opens because of the thing that you lost or what was going on is something to do related to like maybe a goal that you have with a sibling. Could be one interpretation, or very possibly just like family in general. Beautiful. Pile number 1. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I also like to look at the elemental associations of things. It's part of the way that I like to read tarot. So you do have, the only suit that you really have a majority of is, you have 2 pentacles and you have 2 cups. So that tends to represent both a matter of material things, such as your resources, finances, career, etc. We already kind of discussed that. And you have 2 cups cards. which tends to deal with our emotions, our relationships, intuition, things along those lines. So definitely, yes, for all of you, like no matter what parts of this reading resonated, this is definitely something related to like finances and security, especially regarding a relationship or your emotions of some sort. Okay. So I know pile number 1, especially for those of you who were the part of the reading that resonated really well, was like the deception. Sometimes even the Seven of Swords can be like betrayal too, because this particular depiction is the Black Widow. And as we know, I mean, to my understanding, once again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, this might just be a wives' tale, but I think they tend to eat their mate after they're done. I think that's why they're called a Black Widow. Or maybe I'm thinking of praying mantises, something like that. I think that's what happens. So it's, especially for those of you that was like a romantic thing, definitely like a big kind of backstab betrayal. So totally understandable why you would have to put something on the back burner just to kind of emotionally recuperate from what went on. But just be reassured, pile 1, it's a new spring coming, okay? And also if you're thinking about, like you're asking, well, Lone Pine, what kind of timing do you see on this? We do have Spirit of Spring, which tends to represent, well, quite fittingly spring. Okay, don't have to explain that one too much. We also have the crocodile and the message of, you know, death yielding new life. I already explained the seasonal association with that. So once again, we have spring. I mean, ravens, I wouldn't say necessarily have any specific elemental association or seasonal association. I personally kind of see them as related to like winter to me for some reason, intuitively. So maybe like winter into spring when this will pop up, from whatever time that you're watching this particular reading. Let's see, and you do have, yes, an abundance of earth and water. Okay, so that makes me think, yeah, like winter into spring or so for most of you. And in terms of, let's see, numbers, we do have 2 3s repeated. Could represent March of the next year, or if you're currently watching this in March, it could be very immediate. So if I had to pin down a month, I would say March because of the abundance of 3s. All right. Beautiful, pile number 1. So that was the hidden truth or the secret side of something that Spirit wanted you to know. As I always say at the end of the readings, if you liked it, if it resonated, if it helped you, most of all is what I care about, please like the video, comment down below, please subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Every little bit of engagement helps, and thank you so much if you choose to do any one of those 3 things, if not all 3. And as we always say in our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile number 1, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a hidden truth Spirit wants you to know, or a secret side of something they're going to unveil to you. And as you recall, you were drawn to the Bear card as your pile leader today. Now, in a bit of a switch up from my usual method, we're going to actually draw all of the cards first. So let's do that right now. We'll set your Bear off to the left. We'll, of course, explain what he means later in tandem with everything else, but let's get those cards on the desk. So calling Spirit for the highest, best good of our wonderful pile 2. Please tell us more about the hidden secret you want them to know. A hidden truth. Okay, those 2 for sure just are going to fly out, so we'll take those 2 as the first. Lots of cards sticking out today. Wonderful. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. And then let's draw your oracle cards, of course. So first up to bat, we've got tea leaves. Okay, I was already feeling that one, but I wanted to shuffle through everything first. Okay. Just to make sure. Okay, the carrot. You have opportunity or windfall. Seems like a good sign so far. Let's keep drawing. Next up, we have the animal messages deck. Excuse me. And last but not least, we have, how fittingly for this reading about hidden things, Oracle of the Hidden World. beautiful. I always kind of feel like this deck is underrated. I don't see a lot of tarot readers use this deck a lot, but it is very beautiful. Okay, drum roll please. Let's unveil, other than the carrot, which already revealed itself, your cards today. So starting with your tarot spread pile 2, we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Could mean a lot of things. Let's keep unveiling. We have the Four of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles so far. Seems to be probably oriented towards money or career or resources, the home. Maybe potentially family, but let's keep going. Okay, definitely. Another Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Seems like we were on the right trail with that. Then we have the Lovers. So it can represent a romantic relationship, but sometimes more traditionally it is a card of choices as well, especially when it comes to choices between the right and the wrong thing. And last but not least, we have the, I was going to say 10, it's the Five of Swords reversed. Okay, bringing a conflict to an end. I think I already know what's going on. Let's look at the whole picture though. Of course we have carrot, opportunity, or windfall. We already saw that. Move these out of the way down here for a second. Second tea leaf is the Ring. A marriage will take place either romantic or business. So it could be a partnership of some sort. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, marriage, or like an agreement of some sort. Especially when I think of Ring, I think of like the interpretation of it with Lenormand, which we're not using today, but I do love Lenormand so much. And in that particular interpretation, it does tend just to represent a promise of some sort. I mean, just like a ring does in a marriage, but using it more broadly if it's not related to a partnership. And then we have Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. Sacred Journey number 30. Introversion, Seeker, and Self-Knowledge. Okay. I think they're going to give you some sort of information that's going to help you. Pile number 2. I mean, obviously, because it's kind of the theme of the reading, but what I mean in more specificity is information that's going to help you with the journey that you're on in terms of, I almost want to say it's going to unlock a door. It's like a key that you've been waiting for. And then the animal messages. We have the Scarab Beetle. What is unregarded or discarded holds a secret. Okay. A seed of creation. Yes. Okay. So pile number 2. Most prominent thing popping out is what Spirit wants to tell you about today with this secret hidden thing is there's some thing that you're overlooking that could really help you in a situation that you found yourself in. And I want to say, especially because of the tarot cards, it's kind of a sticky situation. I want to say for most of you, it's probably related to career or finances because you did get an abundance of pentacles. Okay. That's the earth energy in tarot. That's all about job, career, money, security, home, those things. And especially because you got the Ten of Pentacles reversed, which is usually about either legacy, sometimes it's like family-related things, and especially in reversal pile number 2, it can represent issues with like inheritance or arguments with like stability or security in family, even if it's not specifically inheritance. And then you got the Four of Pentacles, which is the card of like holding on to our resources, wanting to hold something close or trying to hold on to what we have. And so that ensures our stability, okay? And then we have the Six of Pentacles reversed in the very middle, or the heart of the matter card, as I like to call it. And the Six of Pentacles reversed tends to represent a time where something has been economically or financially unfair. Usually it's upright, it would be like a card of charity, it'd be a card of like, oh, everyone gets what they're supposed to. Reversed, it's, we're having a bit of a fight here. So some of you might be having issues with, say, like, literally could be inheritance, could be siblings fighting over inheritance, or being petty about it, being upset. Unfortunately, that's very common. I'm sure you've all heard horror stories about inheritance and wills and things like that. That could be one interpretation. If it's not necessarily about inheritance, it could also be, let's see, like the way someone is supposed to be paid for something. It could also be a situation where you've been trying to hold on to money and it's like someone else keeps spending a lot of it, or it's like they keep, like it's just not fair to you. Like, so the main markers of this is a situation in your life where things feel unfair. Things aren't being passed down the right way or given to you that is due to you, I should say. And on top of that, too, it's a feeling of insecurity because you're trying to hold on to something. It's also very possible, with the carrot card being opportunity or windfall, that, you know, once again, that kind of indicates it could be inheritance related, not necessarily. And then the ring, as I said, can represent like a promise of some sort, even if it's not necessarily a romantic promise. It could be platonic, could be, you know, with one of your siblings, especially if this like is an inheritance related reading for you. So it's something along those lines. That's the context for what we're talking about. Spirit, as I said, because of, especially when Scarab Beetle and Sacred Journey came out, wants to give you the secret for you to get over or overcome what's going on here. Because I can tell you this, pile number 2. I think this issue, this conflict, sticky situation, as I was describing it, is causing problems with your ability to make choices. Maybe like because of inheritance issues, it's like holding you back in some way. It could also be like affecting the harmony in family relationships, or affecting the harmony in, like, even if it's not family, it could be like, you know, relationships between people at a certain job, if that's like the issue of like you're not getting paid fairly for something. And on top of that too, with the Five of Swords reversed here at the end, especially pile 2, the Five of Swords reversed represents a time of overcoming mental conflicts or mental battles, or like if not mental, it could also be like verbal spats. Could also sometimes, you know, it's not necessarily the Justice card, but I can see the Five of Swords reversed representing a time where we're having some issues with conflicts over like things that we say, like perhaps in court. Okay. So yeah, they want to help you out of that. They want you to help avoid, or at least to try to like get out of this sticky situation as fast as possible. Very understandably so. Well, number 1, they're telling you, pile number 2, you're in the right. And I say that because you have the Bear card. And the Bear card in the Folklore Oracle represents indomitable will, especially when it comes to standing up for the right thing. There is kind of a side message to it. It also warns about making sure not to be stubborn on things like that, like deep down you might know aren't necessarily for the right reasons. But I think because you were drawn to Bear as your pile leader, that speaks to me of someone that is like, yes, I am doing this for the right reason. So you're in the right, pile number 2. So a part of this, what they want to help you with, is making sure that you have confidence in what you're doing, even though, and I know as difficult as it can be, when we do have conflicts with other people over, especially like money, let's say, we can have our willpower and we can have our feeling of, what's the best way I want to put it? Well, basically, yeah, like our feeling of being right, or like our willpower can kind of get ground down, especially if we're mired in like legal battles, or we're mired in, you know, especially with family involved too, pile number 2. I mean, it gets difficult because like it's like you thought you had a good relationship with certain people in your family, especially because you're like, oh, well, you know, we're blood, we should get along, right? But that isn't always, unfortunately, necessarily the truth, as we all know. So they're saying, number 1, keep standing up for the right thing, which you know that you're doing. And I think, too, you might even be like a protector of family. That's another interpretation of the bear, because it specifically in the guidebook talks about a mother bear protecting her cubs. Perhaps you're even protecting your children in some way. You know, be you a mother or no, or you're protecting younger people in general, too, even if they're not blood related to you. That's another reason why you're in the right here, pile number 2, with this. Yes, so that is number 1, the secret. If you've been doubting it, you're in the right. Keep going on the path that you're going. This will come to an end here with that Five of Swords reversed. With that conflict energy will come to an end. The other thing that they want to tell you, though, is that secret. That thing that's kind of disregarded, or that you need to pay more attention to, that would help you even further. So we're going to draw further clarity on that with 3 extra or so cards, pile number 2. It could be related to an opportunity or windfall with the carrot, and then looking at the Sacred Journey before I move to the extra tarot cards. Yeah, introversion, seeker, and self-knowledge. It's like you already have the answer, but you just haven't noticed it yet. Like if you just look deeper, and they want to help you look into that pool deeper. Okay, so let's draw those cards. Oops, I just hit the side of the camera holder. Sorry if you heard that. Hopefully I didn't make too big of a bump noise. Alright, Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more? What's the secret, or like the thing that you want them to notice more that will help them with this situation? Like the key to success in the struggle or the conflict that they're having. What should they notice that is under their nose that would help them immeasurably with what's going on? It could even be like, say if this is a court-related thing, pile number 2, it could be like evidence. that they're like, oh, did you notice this? Look at this evidence. It might be an answer to what you're looking for. So first up to bat, we have, okay, well, kind of a bit repetitive, but we have the High Priestess reversed. High Priestess reversed can represent something that we know deep down, but we're not necessarily listening to. That is sort of like the message of Sacred Journey. That's why I said it's a bit repetitive, because it's like information that you already know. I wonder if you already know it, but you doubt it, or you're thinking, well, I don't know if that would really even make a difference if I brought it up. It's something along those lines, I think, pile number 2. Or it's like you might have had a bit of an inkling or an intuition about it, but then you dismissed it. That's another interpretation of the High Priestess reversed, is you have an intuition, but you're doubting it. It's something along those lines. Let's keep going. Then we have the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped or feeling stuck somewhere. That could go many ways. Let's draw the third card to be sure. And then I'm feeling drawn to this one. We have the Three of Swords reversed, overcoming a pain of some sort. You know, I wonder. Pile 2. The secret that would help you out of this is realizing something regarding the way someone in this situation involved, it could be you or it could be someone else that is part of this, the way that they say that they're trapped or stuck in some way, or they say that they're like, oh, I'm stuck, I can't do this thing because I need this first, or like I need this to go forward, or especially because the Eight of Swords does have a little bit of an asterisk interpretation on top of the feeling of like, oh, I'm trapped, is oftentimes with the Eight of Swords pile 2, it's a self-imprisonment. They could get out of it if they wanted to. Okay, maybe that's part of your realization here, is realizing, oh, well, they just don't want to. Like, it's not an actual problem in their way. They're just, I don't know, sticking their foot in their mouth because they might be trying to block things, or like acting like they're stuck because they're trying to get something out of it. That could be one interpretation. And on top of that, with the Three of Swords reversed pile 2, the Three of Swords reversed is often a card of overcoming a pain of some sort. So I don't know if maybe they're even like faking a pain of theirs, or they're like faking a tiredness of theirs, or it's like, I think a lot of you might have had an inkling suspicion that like they're lying about, or someone involved might be lying about being stuck and how much pain they're actually in. And that doesn't, I mean, it could literally mean pain, pile number 2, but it could also be like a metaphorical pain of some sort. So like, let's say you're trying to get someone to do something and they're like, oh, well, I don't have the money for it. Oh, I can't do it. They actually might have more money than than they're saying that they do, or maybe especially if inheritance is involved, pile 2, it could also be that they say like, oh, I need more of the inheritance because I don't have enough money. What am I going to do? Like, it's that kind of, I mean, I get the feeling of a bit of manipulation here with the Eight of Swords next to the Three of Swords reversed, especially because, as I said, the Eight of Swords is this feeling of, like, you could get out of it if you really tried. You could bring yourself out of that imprisonment. It's really a self-empowering card, pile number 2, at least for whoever it applies to, because it means you have a way out of this. It's just that, and like I said, pile 2, I think it's someone else involved in the situation, not you. So look closer at that, because someone here isn't necessarily being 100% honest, I think, about how trapped and how much in pain they really are with something. And like I said, with that kind of situation, that makes me think, because usually people will do this because they're trying to like elicit sympathy, or it's like weaponized incompetence is like another phrase that comes to mind, or like they do things like that because they want you to feel bad for them, or like they want sympathy even though it's really, maybe their situation isn't as bad as they say it is. It's something along those lines. So keep an eye on that, pile number 2. And there's something in that kernel of truth there that's going to help propel you to overcome this conflict that's been going on. Okay. I mean, maybe even it just comes to the realization of like, well, maybe I shouldn't even take this person and their gripes seriously because, because I think pile 2, you tend to be an empathetic soul. That's what I'm getting from this reading. And it's like Spirit kind of saying, well, empathy is great, but only if people don't take advantage of it. And that's the problem with empathy, pile number 2. Fantastic thing to have. A lot of humanity's problems would be solved if everybody had gobloads of empathy. But unfortunately, as we all know, humanity doesn't sometimes. So, you know, a bit of dark humor there. I wish everyone was very empathetic, but unfortunately, that's not the case, as we all know. So be aware of where your empathy might also be taken advantage of. Okay, that's another message I'm hearing coming forward. And that will help you overcome this. That's the knowledge or the secret that you need. And top of that, too, when you come to that realization, pile 2, remember what we said about the bear. Do not be afraid to stand up for the right thing, especially when it comes to protecting yourself and your family. Okay? Do not be afraid. You're in the right. You're standing up for the right thing. As long as you hold that as your North Star, you'll make it through just fine. Okay? So listen to your intuition. Listen to what rings true in your mind about this is the truth. This is the right thing to do. And you'll make it just fine. This conflict will be overcome. Okay? Beautiful. So that was your hidden secret, or the hidden thing that Spirit wanted to unveil to you today, pile number 2. My condolences for the situation you've been going through. Does not look like a fun time, but that's the beauty of this reading, is that Spirit is trying to give you a key to open that door past this conflict. So I hope most of all that you liked the reading and it resonated, and number 1, that it helped you. That's my number 1 priority with these readings. If so, here's the old YouTube spiel. You know how it goes. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and thank you so much if you choose to do one, if not all 3 of those things. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about the hidden truth that your spirit guides want you to know. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the birch tree as your pile leader. So in a bit of a switch up from my usual method, I'm actually going to draw all of your cards first, and then we'll explore the hidden truth in totality. So let us put your pile leader to the left and start with your tarot spread. Calling on spirit guides in spirit for pile 3. Can you tell us a little bit more about the hidden truth you want them to know? Something useful, a secret unveiled. Okay, that one for sure. There's number 4. And I'm feeling drawn to this one for number 5. Okay, beautiful. Tarot cards, and then let's look at your oracle spreads as well. So first up to bat, we're drawing from the Tea Leaf Oracle today. Oopsie, that was an incredibly poor shuffle. Forgive me, pile number 3. You're like, oh my god, what was that? All right, are we ready for a better one? I got it this time. There we go. Thank you. No matter how many times I shuffle a deck, you'd think after the hundreds of times I've shuffled cards before that I would always be perfect at it. No, it's not true. Let's see, box, you will receive a gift. Okay, looking pretty good so far with that one. There we go. My shuffling capability can only go onward and upward from here, so other than that first one, right? And then we have the animal messages. Beautiful. That one says, pick me, we're picking it. And how fitting for this type of reading, we have the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds for your last deck today. Oopsie. Well, you know what? Wasn't as bad as the tea leaf shuffle, so I won't complain about that one, but... and that one I'm feeling drawn to. So let's unveil your cards, pile number 3. Thank you for your patience. We already saw a bit of a spoiler alert. Box, you will receive a gift, but let's look at your tarot spread to begin. So first up to bat, we have Death with the very cute, I love axolotls, adorable, Death, which does not necessarily mean death, literally. So anyone not familiar with tarot, don't run away from the reading just because you saw Death. Then we have the Two of Cups reversed, okay. Seeming to kind of fit with your Birch card already. And we have the Seven of Wands reversed. Making total sense so far, I can see. Then we have Seven of Pentacles reversed. Then we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. Well, that's fantastic to get at the very end. Because what that means, pile number 3, is the outcome of your spread today being the last card. A hardship overcome. So, yes, I do see positive things with this secret. Let's keep going. We have, of course, box. Won't reiterate that. You'll receive a gift. Second tea leaf is hat. You will be playing a different role. Could be related to a job. Very potentially. We do have 2 Pentacles cards, which Pentacles in Tarot do represent maybe career and finance related messages typically. We have Kindred Spirits. Number 23, Spirit Companions, Guides, and Comfort. How cute. This one always reminds me of, and I know they're candles. They're not spirits, but they always kind of look like spirits at first glance. They make me think of the Kodama in Princess Mononoke, if any of you are familiar with Ghibli movies. Fantastic movie. Especially because it's in a forest, too. Spirit Companions, Guides, and Comfort. And then the animal messages, we have the Wild Horse. Speak your passion aloud and defend those whom you love in word and deed. Interesting. Pile number 3. Beautiful reading, though. Positive things, I can tell you that much. Though, to begin, I want to kind of explain more of the context as to where the secret or hidden thing is coming from. So just kind of, we'll begin here with kind of explaining, as I said, Spirit's context of, like, what's going to be unveiled, what area of your life. So I do see, as I said, probably this is related to finances or career, although some of you, it could be related to a relationship because you did get the Two of Cups reversed, especially a relationship that maybe didn't go so well in the past or maybe currently isn't going so well. It is in the recent past position with the spread today, so that can give some context. And on top of that, with the death card starting at the very beginning, as I said, doesn't always represent literal death. Death in this case, because of the other cards involved, represents to me a time of massive change. It is a time of transitions. It is a time of things coming to an end, but also things beginning. And we do see that a lot with your other symbolisms here with the hat card. I mean, even in the background, it almost looks like a sun setting here or a sun rising, depending on the way that you think of it, which is like death, the death of the day, but becoming anew after the night, just like dawn. And very fittingly, I didn't even talk about your Birch card yet, the pile later you were drawn to, pile 3. The Birch card is a tree of light. It is a tree of new beginnings. It is a tree of especially endurance after the darkness and inner light too. Being determined, being hardy during difficult times. And I do see that you have been going through difficult times, especially because of that Five of Pentacles reverse, but also everything else as well. So pile 3, you've been going through a hard time. I think there's been probably a lot of doors closing to you or like a feeling of something coming to an end very soon, especially when it comes to, as I said, potentially relationships, or maybe they've already kind of come to an end, or work too because of your abundance of pentacles. And let's look at this 1 second here. Especially with the horse. Sorry, I'm pausing here, pile 3. Because I think this is one of those readings where the context can be wildly different depending on who's watching. Like, especially so more than a typical reading. But in either case, whatever hardship that you've been going through, that Seven of Wands reversed in the middle tells me that that time of struggle is coming to an end, because the Seven of Wands reversed is a card of being finally able to lay down your arms in terms of like weaponry, being able to lay down your shield and your struggle and feeling like you have to defend yourself. So I think part of what you've been transitioning from is a time of having to defend yourself a lot. That might have been kind of the main thing defining that hardship, pile 3. So that could be defending yourself from like financial problems. It could be defending yourself, especially with that Two of Cups, from like a bad partner, you know, which, or even if it's not romantic relationship, it could be like, you know, platonic relationship with a family member or like a best friend that had to kind of come to an end. It could have even been like a relationship with a job too. Like maybe you're currently at a job or recently were at a job where you've had to like defend yourself a lot. Like maybe a lot of hammers came down on you in terms of, you know, man, this is what I hated about the corporate world, you know, where someone makes a really big decision and then things roll downhill, and then you get in trouble for it, or people blame you for it just because you're the one making that thing roll out, and then the person who actually put it into place in the first place, higher up in management, doesn't get blamed for it, even though they're the one that technically made that decision. It's something like that, where it's like it's out of your control, but you can't control it, yet still have to defend yourself. It's like that kind of situation, especially for those of you that this is like a career-oriented thing. Been there, done that myself. 100% sympathize if that's your case. Pile number 3. Not fun. But I do see here, although it prevented you from planting seeds for the future, that's what the Seven of Pentacles reversed represents. And there might still be a little bit of a struggle in the near future. So I don't see this like immediately changing over. I will be honest about that. Be assured, though, that the Five of Pentacles reversed as your outcome means the hardship is coming to an end, especially regarding career and finances and like stability type related things, okay? And the secret pile number 3 is, well, kind of related to your tea leaf cards mainly. We have you will be playing a different role and you will receive a gift. And on top of that, too, with kindred spirits, meaning like finding your people, I almost wonder if a lot of you are going to, if you're currently in a job search right now, you're going to find a job that is absolutely perfect for you. And I don't say that very often. But the reason why I'm professing that for your reading, pile number 3, is because kindred spirits, we think of a situation or a place where we get along really well with the people around us. There's none of that crap that's, crap rolling downhill that you can't control, or people blaming you and you having to feel like you have to defend yourself all the time for stuff that's not even your fault. There's also the box card, which represents receiving a gift of some sort. This is a gift from the universe, okay? So, yeah, and on top of that, too, with the horse, speak your passion aloud and defend those whom you love in word and deed. People that will actually stand up for you. That's another meaning of kindred spirits. People that understand that you're not at fault, or if there is a mistake or things going wrong, they're not going to just sit back on their cushy ivory tower and be like, well, I'll let the grunt fix it. I'll let the grunt work it out. They'll actually support you and be like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. How do we fix this? It'd be people that actually work together in harmony and union. And that's, speaking of the Two of Cups, that's literally what the Two of Cups represents, is harmony and union in relationships, where before, of course, it was reversed. It's kind of that feeling of like, oh, things aren't going well here. We're not in harmony. People aren't getting along. But then this transition to this new thing will be, okay, now we're in a place where there is greater kinship. And I think with playing a different role, it might be even a job that is either completely different, or it's like a step up in terms of a promotion. Okay, so as much as the difficulties you've been going through have been, let's just admit it, pile number 3, they've been awful to go through, okay? I can see that here is just even from your tarot cards. There is a dawn coming. That's part of the hidden secret here, okay? So especially if you've been looking for a job search, a great job is coming, okay? Or for those of you that have been struggling in your work right now recently and you're still at that job, very possibly you'll either get like a promotion to some place within the company that's better, in like a department that isn't as dysfunctional potentially in one interpretation, or maybe even like a different branch, depending on the type of company you work for. Everyone's going to be a bit different. It's also very possible, too, that you'll have an opportunity of some sort to actually work on a passion of yours rather than this current job that you have that hasn't been doing so well, or it's not really that aligned with your sole purpose, especially because of the horse. Because as it says, speak your passion aloud. And, when we think of wild horses, we do think of things that are untamed and things that are free. Okay, in fact, I even think of the, what's that old, I think it was a DreamWorks movie. It wasn't Disney. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. I believe that's what it's called. The main title is Spirit. It's about a horse that literally can't be leashed or reined. It's kind of a representative of having control over your own life. So it's kind of what I'm seeing here with the wild horse. It makes me think of Spirit. Really cute movie. Go watch it if you haven't. And so you just think too of like open pastures. Just nothing holding you back. Nothing getting in your way. Just a whole new horizon opening up to you. But, to cap off the reading, though, pile 3, I do want to ask a little bit more about like the secret side of this too, because this has been kind of almost a little bit more of like a what you need to know type reading. Although, I mean, I suppose for those of you that you don't know that this is coming, obviously this is kind of a secret, like, oh, cool, I'm going to get a promotion, or like, I'm going to find a place, or let me like foster my passions more, or I'll be more free. But, like a new dawn after the ending of something. But I want to ask and step into that mystery a little bit more. So, Spirit, anything else you want to say that Pile 3 should know about this that is currently secret to them? Maybe 3 cards, thank you. We have the Ten of Cups, and that is leaning towards upward. Okay, but I do tend to read sideways cards in different ways. Very rarely they come out sideways. This interpretation I would read as the Ten of Cups representing, yes, upright. It's about happily ever after, finding a place where we feel emotionally fulfilled, especially, and 2, if this is maybe, like, for those of you that it's not so much a career thing that's been going on, it's maybe like a relationship you've been leaving, that might be how this represents or, like, resonates with you. This means, like, towards a happier relationship, because the Ten of Cups is also happily ever after, with relationships being a cup suit card. But, yeah, reading it sideways, that interpretation would be more, like, you just being on the cusp of something. Okay, that's how I tend to read those. At least in this situation, I would. And then we have number 2, the Six of Swords. Yes, moving on somewhere. Yeah, you know what, Pile 3, if I had to put a pin in it, if I had to make a bet, I would say you're moving somewhere better. Because the Six of Swords is literally the card of, this place is bad, there's greener pastures elsewhere, I'm getting in my boat and I'm leaving. Like, literally the traditional depiction of the Six of Swords is someone getting in a boat and leaving. Okay. You're leaving to better pastures. I mean, excuse the pun with the horse. I didn't even think about that when I said that, but just a phrase I like to use, but it does work with the horse metaphor too. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Interesting. So the Wheel of Fortune reversed can represent, obviously, like, a bad turn of luck. But in this case, we did ask, like, what's the secret, or like, what's more, like, more of the secret hidden to you. So interpreting it for that, with that as a part of the reading. 1 second, Pile 3. It's funny. There's something about it at first that you think will be a negative or a bad turn of luck. Maybe especially too for those of you where, perhaps you got fired. You immediately you're like, oh God, this is like a really, really crappy hand to have been dealt. Understandably so. But in the end, it was like the best thing that could have happened. It was like the worst best thing that could have happened, or best worst thing. It's maybe a better way to phrase it. The best worst thing that could have occurred. Because it's giving you an opportunity for someplace better. It's like where you were before, or where you are now, if you haven't left yet, is a place that is not fertile for your dreams and seeds for the future. That's another interpretation with that 7 of Pentacles reverse that we had before. Because it's like you couldn't, there's no room for growth. There's nothing, it's like where you are or where you were before, they didn't care about your passions. They didn't care about what you wanted. They didn't care about what made you feel alive. But then you make this move, you play this new role, and you're like, holy crap. Thank God I dodged a bullet. They did me a favor. Okay, the trash took itself out is another phrase I like to use with situations like this. Not that you leaving is the trash taking itself out. You leaving was them being the trash taking themselves out. You know what I mean? Thank God it happened, because look at where I ended up now. So, Pile 3, in summary, if you have had a situation like this recently, you might still be mired in the feeling of that, oh crap, situation, the if that is the case, please be assured that what Spirit is telling you here is A, it was meant to happen, but B, I'll just repeat it. This is the best worst thing that could have happened to you. I promise you. So that's the hidden side of it, is that really a bad turn of fate, or what seems like a bad turn of fate with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, is actually a chance for you to move somewhere where you'll be more emotionally fulfilled and more free, greater kindred spirits around you, playing a different role that more aligns with who you really are and what you really want, and also just aligns more with you, in terms of like a workplace environment, if this is career related for you, aligns more with just how humans work, okay, in like a positive way that nurtures the soul rather than just treats you like a cog in a machine to, put in the energy to make green and money come out. You know what I mean? Workplaces like that. You're just a cog in the machine. They don't really care about you. They just want your money or what money you can make for them, right? This place does not feel like that, pile number 3. Or same thing if it's a relationship, same thing. The old relationship ending felt like, oh crap. Oh, sweet. But really it was the best worst thing in the end. Okay? So that's the hidden secret that Spirit wanted to share with you today, my wonderful pile number 3, the bad turn of luck that actually was a blessing in disguise. So, if that reading helped you, number 1, that's what I care about most, or if you liked it, if it resonated, etc., all those lovely things, please like the video, subscribe, comment down below, my typical YouTube spiel, but I am very, very thankful if you choose to do one or even all 3 of those things. So, thank you for listening, and in our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, full of new dawns and better beginnings, okay? And places where you actually can be nurtured and grow your ideas and your passions. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.